fading into softer light, slow reflections passing by, quiet rhythm in the air, nothing heavy anywhere. Fading into softer light, warm shadows moving slow, something beautiful remains in the spaces left below. Silver colors on the wall, soft emotions drifting past, tiny movements through the room, moments never meant to last. Everything feels distant now, like a dream beneath the sun. Gentle silence in my hands before the day has fully come. Floating through familiar streets, half awake and half unknown. There's a feeling in the air, like the city breathing low. Soft illusions through the glass, warm reflections on my skin. Nothing loud and nothing sharp, only quiet settling in. Slow conversations without words, moving lightly through the day. Something almost disappears every time I look away. Pale colors and subtle sounds somewhere underneath the noise. Little fragments of a feeling too delicate for any voice. No beginning, no perfect end, only moments turning soft again. Weightless shadows drifting out of view, everything fading into something new. Fading into softer light, slow reflections passing by, quiet rhythm in the air, nothing heavy anywhere. Fading into softer light, warm shadows moving slow, something beautiful remains in the spaces left below. Velvet colors drifting slow across the edges of the room, quiet patterns moving low beneath a pale and faded hue. Weightless echoes through the air, soft reflections out of phase. Everything feels undefined, lost inside a silver haze. Velvet afternoon, falling out of view, slow emotions turning blue into something new. Velvet afternoon, shadows moving through, nothing sharp and nothing clear, only passing hues. Subtle rhythm underneath, like distant light beneath the rain. Gentle static through my mind, repeating softly once again. Half remembered silhouettes floating somewhere in between, every feeling disappearing before it can be seen. Soft distortion through the glass, warm illusions in the gray. Little fragments of a moment slowly drifting far. Subtle frequencies collide inside the pale ultramarine, flickering in slow motion, fragments moving out of phase, every gesture dissolving softly into translucent waves. Chromatic silence moving underneath, soft illusions circling around me. Chromatic silence, silver afterglow, nothing certain, only undertones. Static elegance remains, like perfume floating through the gray. Invisible geometry suspended in a quieter frame. Velvet echoes on the glass, slow distortion in the light, every feeling turning weightless underneath the passing white. No direction, no arrival, only blurred peripheral glow. A lucid kind of reverie, only midnight skies can know. Fading outlines, liquid gold, muted rhythm, soft control. Slow reflections disappear, leaving only atmosphere. Chromatic silence moving underneath, soft illusions circling around me. Chromatic silence, silver afterglow, nothing certain, only undertones. Monochrome reverie lingering across the ceiling, soft arithmetic of shadows shifting through the quiet heat. Porcelain frequencies gliding underneath the surface, every distant movement pulling further out of reach. Faint silhouettes in repetition, like unfinished Polaroids drifting through a muted sequence, half dissolved into the noise. Monochrome reverie slowly covering me, velvet static in the air, like a forgotten memory. Monochrome reverie, soft electric symmetry, every second disappearing before it touches me. Sapphire undertones remain inside the fragmented glow, a subtle dissonance between the things we never show. Weightless conversations moving somewhere out of frame, all the quiet little details never asking for a name. Glass reflections bending slowly into liquid afternoon, nothing sharp enough to hold on to, nothing fading too soon. Blurred dimensions, silver lines, muted language, endless time, soft collisions drifting near, every monochrome reverie, slowly covering me. Velvet static in the air, like a forgotten memory. Monochrome reverie, soft electric symmetry. Every second disappearing before it touches me. Satin frequency, floating underneath the noise. Soft transmissions through the air like invisible poise. Liquid patterns on the glass, drifting slowly out of sync. Every subtle movement pulling deeper than I think. Silver traces in the room, velvet tones beneath the light. A quiet kind of elegance suspended out of sight. Satin frequency moving over me, slow distortion in the haze like a hidden memory. Satin frequency, soft electric dreams. Nothing ever stays the same, as perfect as it seems. Muted colors in suspension, weightless rhythm in the gray. Something almost disappearing every time it drifts away. Fragments turning into silence, softly folding into blue. No beginning, no conclusion, only undertones of you. A delicate asymmetry inside the afterglow. Everything becoming lighter the longer I let go. Fading outlines, quite cold, slow dimensions, soft control. Blurred reflections passing through, leaving only something else. Satin frequency moving over me, slow distortion in the haze like a hidden memory. Satin frequency, soft electric dreams. Nothing ever stays the same, as perfect as it seems. Luminous drift across the frame, slow kinetic aftertaste. Soft horizons bending quietly into a diluted space. Muted currents underneath like a low frequency dream. Everything dissolving slowly into shades of silver green. Velvet outlines moving sideways through the architecture glow. Weightless echoes in suspension, somewhere only shadows know. Luminous drift pulling through the haze. Quiet waves unfolding in a fractured phase. Luminous drift softly out of sight. every subtle variation circling around the soul. Liquid symmetry remains inside translucent afternoons. Soft collisions turning endless like invisible monsoons. No arrival, no departure, only movement through the gray. Tiny fragments rearranging every time they drift away. Slow distortion, velvet skies, muted golden faded lines. Silent motion passing through everything, becoming new. Luminous drift pulling through the haze. Quiet waves unfolding in a fractured face. Luminous drift softly out of sight. Nothing ever fully fading underneath the light. Opaline motion through the haze, soft refracted afterglow. Velvet figures out of focus, moving somewhere far below. Liquid cadence in suspension, silver static in the blue. Every subtle shift in timing, pulling slowly into view. Quiet resonance surrounding faded silhouettes in gold. Everything becomes elastic when the daylight loses hold. Opaline motion drifting into gray. Slow collisions turning softly, then dissolving away. Opaline motion floating through the light. Nothing ever staying long enough to fully arrive. Muted frequencies unfolding underneath translucent skies. Soft geometry repeating in the corner of my eyes. Weightless fragments rearranging like unfinished Polaroids. Every passing undertone becoming softer in the noise. Acting currents through the distance, subtle tension in the air. No expression fully spoken, still remaining everywhere. Blurred dimensions, quiet flame, silver patterns without a name. Slow horizons passing through, everything refracted into blue. Opaline motion drifting into gray. Slow collisions turning softly, then dissolving away. Opaline motion floating through the light. Nothing ever staying long enough to fully arrive. Celestial blur in slow decay. Soft neon fading into gray. Quiet intervals between every undefined routine. Liquid tones across the glass. Weightless figures drifting past. Silver fragments in suspension, lost inside a pale dimension. Velour side disappearing into the white. Muted currents underneath invisible symmetry, soft collisions in the haze, moving with uncertainty. Everything feels half transparent, like a lucid afterglow. No arrival, no conclusion, only frequencies below. Sapphire echoes through the static, gentle dissonance remains. All the quiet little textures circling inside my veins. Silver outlines, liquid skies, velvet shadows passing by, soft horizons out of view. Everything refracted into blue. Celestial blur, floating out of frame, slow vibrations shifting softly without a name. Celestial blur, fading through the light, nothing fully disappearing into the white. Soft parallel in the light, subtle colors passing by, quick patterns in the air, like a dream I almost recognize. Golden traces through the glass, slow reflections on the floor. Everything feels lighter now than it did before. Velvet moments rearranging into warmer shades of blue, tiny fragments drifting softly into something new. Soft parallel, moving next to me, quiet waves and faded gold, imperfect symmetry. Soft parallel, floating through the day, every little undertone slowly fades away. Liquid sunlight through the silence, gentle rhythm in the haze. Nothing distant, nothing heavy, only slow and subtle change. Silver outlines in motion, soft percussion in the air, a quiet kind of happiness appearing everywhere. Weightless echoes through the distance, like a low translucent glow. Everything becoming softer the longer I let go. Warm horizons passing through, muted colors turning new. Slow reflections, golden skies, soft distortion in reflections on a lake. Silver fragments in the air, weightless patterns everywhere. Tiny moments out of phase, floating through translucent days. Golden static, moving through the blue. Soft vibrations turning slowly into something new. Golden static, shining underneath. Quiet colors rearranging in perfect symmetry. Liquid outlines through the glass, warm horizons slowly pass. Muted echoes in suspension, softly bending my perception. Pale geometry remains inside the softly tinted frame. Nothing distant, nothing loud, only light beneath the clouds. Gentle aftertones unfolding, like a dream that keeps revolving. Every subtle undertone feels familiar and unknown. Slow horizons, silver skies, warm reflections passing by. Soft dimensions turning gold, everything becoming slow. Golden static, moving through the blue. Soft vibrations turning slowly into something new. Golden static, shining underneath. Quiet colors rearranging in perfect symmetry. Yeah. Amber bloom across the air, soft kinetic everywhere. Queer radiance unfolding like a warmth I've always known. Subtle glimmers through the haze, turning silver into gold. Every passing little moment feels lighter than before. Weightless silhouettes in motion, moving softly through the frame. Nothing asking for attention, still everything has changed. Amber bloom, floating through the light. Slow reflections turning softly into warmer skies. Amber bloom, shimmering below. Every quiet little feeling glowing slow. Velvet rhythm underneath, like a pulse beneath the blue. Something gently rearranging into unfamiliar hues. Mute the laughter in the distance, soft percussion in the rain. Every blurred and faded outline feels alive again. Warm dimensions opening slowly, like translucent afternoon. All the static disappearing from the corners of the room. Golden echoes passing near, liquid colors crystal clear. Soft horizons turning new, everything illuminated through. Amber bloom, floating through the light. Slow reflections turning softly into warmer skies. Amber bloom, shimmering below. Every quiet little feeling glowing slow. colors underneath, like a language of their own. Muted silhouettes collide inside a lucid aftertone. Everything feels delicate but never fully known. Satin frequencies unfolding through the pale electric air. Every passing undertow leaves a trace of something there. Ivory echo fading into blue, slow vibrations turning softly out of view. Ivory echo circling below, nothing ever fully disappears. It only moves slow. Liquid symmetry remains inside translucent afternoons. Whiteless motion through the static, like suspended monsoon. Soft geometry repeating across the velvet skyline glow. Tiny fragments rearranging into shapes I almost know. No arrival, no departure, only drifting through the haze, like an endless low horizon folding into silver waves. Blurred dimensions, quick gold muted current, soft control. Silver outlines passing through, everything dissolving into blue. Ivory echo fading into blue, slow vibrations turning softly out of view. Ivory echo circling below, nothing ever fully disappears. It only moves slow. Golden air across the room, soft kinetic afternoons. Every subtle shade of light feels suspended out of time. Quiet motion in the blue, liquid colors drifting through. Whiteless silhouettes align like reflections in my mind. Velvet traces through the haze, turning slowly into waves. Nothing distant, nothing loud, only softness all around. Crystal Sundays floating through the gold, warm vibrations turning softly into something whole. Crystal Sundays shimmering below. Ooh, every faded little feeling starts to glow. Soft percussion in the rain, slowly washing through the frame. Muted laughter somewhere near, like a frequency made clear. Silver outlines moving freely through translucent atmosphere. Everything becomes lighter every time the light appears. Satin shadows on the glass, drifting gently as they pass. Tiny moments rearranging into warm kaleidoscapes. Liquid skylines passing by, soft reflections, silver white, warm horizons turning blue. Everything illuminated through crystal Sundays floating through the gold. Warm vibrations starts to glow. Soft reflections on the ceiling, turning slowly into gold. Every distant little motion feels cinematic and slow. Quiet figures through the brightness, passing somewhere out of frame, like a dream in soft rotation, never asking for a name. The skies beyond the glass, liquid colors drifting past. Everything feels illuminated by a warmth that doesn't last. Mirrored season shining underneath, slow emotions rearranging in symmetry. Mirrored season floating through the haze, every subtle undertone glows for days. Muted rhythms through the daylight, soft percussion in the blue. Tiny sparks of conversation disappear before they bloom. Silver shadows in suspension, like a pulse beneath the air. Everything becomes lighter when the silence settles there. Warm dimensions slowly bending into pale kaleidoscapes. Nothing fixed and nothing certain, still it never fades away. Golden outlines passing near, liquid moments crystal clear. Soft horizons turning new, everything refracted through. Mirrored season shining underneath, slow emotions rearranging in symmetry. Mirrored season floating through the haze, every subtle undertone glows for days. Pale velocity through the rain, soft horizons bending strange. Everything in slower motion, like a distant afterimage. Silver currents underneath, muted echoes through the heat. Every subtle hesitation feels incomplete. Quiet architecture glowing beyond the translucent gray. Weightless outlines rearranging and slowly fading away. Pale velocity moving underneath, slow distortions in the silence circle around me. Pale velocity softly drifting through, nothing ever disappears, it only changes hue. Velvet shadows on the ceiling, liquid patterns through the blue. Every passing undertone feels both unfamiliar and true. Static Chaotic elegance remains inside the low fluorescent glow. Tiny fragments of emotion, moving beautifully slow. No arrival and no ending, only muted symmetry. Like reflections folding softly into lucid memory. Silver skylines passing low, blurred dimensions, liquid gold. Quiet aftertones turning blue, everything dissolving through. Pale velocity, moving underneath. Slow distortions in the silence circle around me. Pale velocity, softly drifting through. Nothing ever disappears, it only changes hue. Aurora fade, shimmering in gold. Soft reflections turning slowly, weightless and untold. Aurora fade, floating through the blue. Every quiet little motion feels brand new. Liquid sunlight on the glass, muted colors drifting past. Everything in soft rotation, like a lucid conversation. Silver traces in the air, velvet warmth everywhere. Tiny pulses underneath, moving with a quiet ease. Subtle rhythm through the haze, turning slowly into waves. Nothing distant, nothing loud, only softness all around. Warm dimensions rearranging into pale kaleidoscapes. Every fleeting undertone feels impossible to name. Soft horizons through the daylight, crystal outlines passing near. Like a frequency unfolding into something clear. Golden aftertones remain inside the low electric rain. Everything becomes lighter the longer I stay here. Soft collisions turning gold, silver currents moving slow. Blurred reflections passing through, everything illuminated blue. Aurora fade, shimmering in gold. Soft reflections turning slowly, weightless and untold. Aurora fade, floating through the blue. Every quiet little motion feels brand new. When silver lines collapse into the ultraviolet haze, quit frequencies emerge from underneath the faded gray. Velvet structures in the distance, shifting through distorted light. Everything feels cinematic, but restrained and undefined. Soft reflections on the chrome, liquid patterns moving low. Every subtle undertow pulls me somewhere I don't know. When silver lines collapse, soft horizons realign. Muted colors turning slowly into lucid state of mind. When silver lines collapse, static disappears, only distant aftertones remain inside my ears. Slow geometry unfolding across translucent afternoons. Invisible asymmetry inside the low monsoon. Weightless effortless motion through the silence, like a pulse beneath the glass. Every little contradiction dissolves before it lasts. Cool dimensions bending softly into pale electric gold. Nothing loud enough to shatter everything controlled. Blurred reflections, silver rain, quiet pressure through my veins. Soft collisions passing through everything refracted blue. When silver lines collapse, soft horizons realigned, muted colors turning slowly into lucid state of mind. When silver lines collapse, static disappears, only distant aftertones remain inside my ear. Soft daylight across the room, turning slowly into gold. Every quiet little movement feels effortless and slow. Muted colors in the distance, drifting through the atmosphere. Something almost weightless seems to shimmer everywhere. Liquid warmth beneath the glass, silver outlines moving past. Everything feels gently open, like a moment made to last. Floating through Saturday, soft horizons in the blue. Every subtle aftertone feels lighter coming through. Floating through Saturday, warm reflections in my mind. Nothing rushing anywhere, everything aligned. Quiet rhythm through the sunlight, soft percussion in the haze. Velvet echoes rearranging into brighter shades. Weightless conversations passing somewhere out of frame. Tiny sparks of unfamiliar turning beautiful again. Pale dimensions opening slowly like translucent summer rain. Every fading little shadow feels illuminated today. Golden outlines passing near, soft vibrations crystal clear. Warm reflections turning new, everything illuminated through. Floating through Saturday, soft horizons in the blue. Every subtle aftertone feels lighter coming through. Floating through Saturday, warm reflections in my mind. Nothing rushing anywhere, everything aligned. Invisible cinema playing underneath my skin. Silent sequences repeating, where the colors slowly spin. Flicker frames in quiet tension, moving through the atmosphere. Like a language built from shadows, only disappearing near. Velvet corridors of motion stretch beyond the mirrored glow. Every passing constellation shifts into a softer tone. Invisible Invisible cinema, running through the haze, fragmented emotion in ultraviolet waves. Invisible cinema, projected through the blue, nothing ever fully ending, only changing view. Static silhouettes in orbit, turning somewhere out of phase. Subtle pressure in the silence, like suspended holidays. Glass harmonics through the distance, low frequencies in bloom. Every hidden variation rearranges the room. No confession, no conclusion, only movement through the grain, like a beautiful illusion drifting slowly through the frame. Fading signals, passing low. Silver outlines, liquid glow. Muted visions, drifting through. Everything dissolving into blue. Invisible cinema, running through the haze. Fragmented emotion in ultraviolet waves. Invisible cinema, projected through the blue, nothing ever fully ending, only changing view. Subtle currents through the white, like a pulse beneath the architecture. Every delicate transition leaves behind another texture. Soft kinetic undertones fold into the afterglow. Nothing asking to be noticed, still it moves beneath it all. Pale reflections in succession, shifting through the atmosphere. Invisible and weightless, yet impossibly clear. The shape of quiet motion, circling through the haze. Fragmented illumination in slow cascading waves. The shape of quiet motion, drifting through the blue. Nothing fixed enough to hold, yet everything feels true. Lower frequencies expanding into localized escapes. Every blurred and distant outline reconfigures into space. Static pressure through the silence, like suspended symmetry. No beginning and no ending, only fluid energy. Silver aftertones remain inside translucent afternoons. Everything becomes elastic underneath the muted room. Slow dimensions, liquid gold, quiet echoes, self-control. Weightless patterns passing through everything, dissolving blue. The shape of quiet motion, circling through the haze. Fragmented illumination in slow cascading waves. The shape of quiet motion, drifting through the blue. Nothing fixed enough to hold, yet everything feels true. Between marble and light, something slowly rearranges. Soft reflections through the white, like a sequence softly changing. Liquid outlines on the ceiling, subtle echoes in the gold. Every quiet variation feels cinematic and controlled. Weightless weightless movement in suspension, drifting through a lucid frame. Nothing asking for attention, still it never feels the same. Between marble and light, silver waves collide. Soft dimensions opening somewhere deep inside. Between marble and light, muted colors glow. Everything becomes softer the slower we go. Velvet architecture breathing underneath the pale monsoon. Every hidden frequency moves gently through the room. Blurred horizons through the static, like translucent aftertaste. Tiny fragments of perception floating softly out of place. No conclusions in the silence, only low electric rain. Every passing undertone leaves a shimmer in the gray. Quiet skylines turning gold, soft reflections, liquid chrome, slow vibrations passing through everything refracted blue. Between marble and light, silver waves collide. Soft dimensions opening somewhere deep inside. Between marble and light, muted colors glow. Everything becomes softer the slower we go. Soft orbit theory in the haze. Create circles through the gray. Every subtle inclination pulls the atmosphere away. Velvet pressure in the silence, like a low electric tide. Weightless patterns rearranging somewhere just outside. Muted skylines bending slowly into pale iridescent rain. Everything feels interconnected without needing to explain. Soft orbit theory turning underneath, silver frequencies colliding in symmetry. Soft orbit theory floating through the blue. Nothing ever standing still, yet everything feels true. Liquid geometry unfolding through translucent afternoon. Tiny echoes in suspension, like a slow revolving moon. No beginning in the motion, no conclusion in the glow. Only delicate reactions moving beautifully slow. Warm dimensions softly opening into quiet ultraviolet. Every fading undertone feels cinematic and endless. Blurred horizons passing low, quiet currents, liquid faces underneath the rain, soft distortions through the white, turning slowly into light. Subtle frequencies collide beyond the pale fluorescent sky. Every quiet hesitation feels like hidden elevation. Liquid shadows through the chrome, weightless patterns moving slow. Nothing fixed enough to hold, still everything unfolds. Velvet after images, drifting through the haze. Soft dimensions folding inward in translucent waves. Velvet after images, floating underneath. Every fading undertone moves in symmetry. Skylines out of focus, blurred horizons in the blue. Tiny cinematic fragments passing silently through view. Low vibrations in the distance, like suspended architecture. Every shifting little detail adds another layer of texture. Quiet pressure in the static, warm reflections through the gray. Everything becomes softer the longer that it stays. Silver outlines, liquid gold, soft collision, slow control. Blurred dimensions passing through. Everything refracted blue. Velvet after images, drifting through the haze. Soft dimensions folding inward in translucent waves. Velvet after images, floating underneath. Every fading undertone moves in symmetry. Soft light, slow rain, falling through the atmosphere. Quaint outlines rearranging, then dissolving near. Silver air across the glass, muted echoes moving low. Everything feels weightless in the undertow. Pale dimensions softly turning through a low electric sky. Every subtle little movement passes beautifully by. Soft light, slow rain, floating through the blue. Gentle frequencies unfolding. Soft light, slow rain, moving underneath. Quiet waves and faded gold in symmetry. Velvet aftertones remain inside translucent afternoons. Soft reflections bending slowly like suspended monsoons. Nothing distant, nothing heavy, only warmth beneath the gray. Tiny fragments of emotion drifting slowly away. Liquid silence through the room, like a pulse beneath the white. Everything becomes softer underneath the fading light. Quiet skyline, silver haze, slow reflections, weightless Soft light, slow rain, floating through the blue. Gentle frequencies unfolding. Soft light, slow rain, moving underneath. Quiet waves in faded golden symmetry. A slow bloom beneath neon clouds, soft reflections drifting down. Everything feels half illuminated in a low suspended sound. Velvet air across the skyline, silver pulses through the haze. Quiet patterns rearranging into softly fractured shapes. Weightless motion through the static, like translucent summer rain. Every subtle transformation leaves a shimmer in the gray. A slow bloom beneath neon clouds, floating out of sight. Muted frequencies unfolding underneath the light. A slow bloom beneath neon clouds, turning softly blue. Every fading undertone feels beautifully new. Pale horizons bending slowly through the architecture glow. Nothing fixed enough to capture, still impossible to let go. Liquid symmetry in motion, warm distortion in the white. Every passing after image feels cinematic tonight. Soft dimensions through the silence, like a pulse beneath the chrome. Tiny echoes in suspension, turning emptiness to tone. Blurred skylines, liquid gold. Quake current, slow control. Silver outlines passing through. Everything refracted blue. Slow bloom beneath neon clouds, floating out of sight. Muted frequencies unfolding underneath the light. A slow bloom beneath neon clouds, turning softly blue. Every fading undertone feels beautifully new. Champagne colored daydreams floating through the afternoon. Soft distortions in the sunlight, like a faded velvet tune. Quiet shimmer on the ceiling, liquid gold beneath the white. Everything feels gently weightless in the low electric light. Muted laughter in the distance, silver echoes in the rain. Tiny moments rearranging into softer shapes again. Champagne colored daydreams drifting through the haze. Warm reflections turning slowly into golden waves. Champagne colored daydreams like symmetry. Velour skies beyond the glass, soft horizons passing slow. Nothing asking for attention, still everything seems to glow. Pale dimensions opening lightly into translucent summer blue. Every fading undertone feels illuminated through. Weightless silhouettes in motion like a lucid afterglow. Quiet frequencies surrounding everything below. Golden skylines passing near, soft vibrations crystal clear. Liquid colors turning new, everything refracted through. Champagne colored daydreams drifting through the haze. Warm reflections turning slowly into golden waves. Champagne colored daydreams moving underneath. Every subtle little motion feels like symmetry. Omotesando daylight shimmering through the trees. Soft reflections on the pavement moving with the breeze. Champagne air and silver windows floating through the gold. Everything feels cinematic, warm and beautiful. Quiet footsteps through the sunlight, velvet rhythm in the street. Tiny flashes of emotion passing underneath. Omotesando daylight drifting through the blue. Every little conversation feels completely new. Omotesando daylight turning gold and white. Soft horizons opening slowly in the afternoon light. Liquid shadows through the glass, soft percussion in the rain. Muted laughter somewhere distant like a softly looping frame. Warm dimensions rearranging into pale kaleidoscapes. Every fading undertone glows a little when it breaks. Silver silhouettes in motion passing slowly through the haze. Everything feels lighter here inside these endless days. Golden skylines passing near, soft vibrations crystal clear. Quiet motion turning new, everything illuminated through. Omotesando daylight drifting through the blue. Every little conversation feels completely new. Omotesando daylight turning gold and white. Soft horizons opening slowly in the afternoon light. Glass curtains afternoon, floating underneath the white. Soft distortions through the skylines, turning silver into light. Quiet architecture breathing through translucent summer air. Every passing little shimmer feels suspended there. Liquid patterns on the ceiling, warm reflections through the chrome. Everything feels softly cinematic, but beautifully unknown. Glass gardens afternoon, drifting through the haze, muted colors rearranging into softer waves. Glass gardens afternoon, shining underneath. Every subtle little aftertone moves in symmetry. Velvet motion in the distance, like a pulse beneath the rain. Tiny flashes of perception appear and fade again. Pale dimensions softly opening into local light escapes. Nothing distant, nothing heavy, only warmth that slowly stays. Weightless silhouettes in motion, passing through the lucid blue. Everything illuminated gently by the afternoon hue. Silver skylines passing near, soft vibrations crystal clear. Golden outlines turning new, everything refracted through. Glass gardens afternoon, drifting through the haze, muted colors rearranging into softer ways. Glass gardens afternoon, shining underneath. Every subtle little aftertone moves in symmetry. Yeah. Polaroids melt in afternoon heat, edges blur beneath the cream tone sky. Traffic murmurs through the canopy, like half-forgotten lullabies. Glossy shadows slide across the marble, faint perfume and apricot haze. Every passing second stretches outward in a soft champagne daze. Loose constellations on the storefronts ripple through the mirrored air. Something delicate keeps floating without asking to be held there. Polaroids melt in afternoon heat, slow motion on repeat. Dusty colors breathing quietly underneath the city beat. Polaroids melt in afternoon heat, flickering through my mind. Everything feels featherlight and beautifully undefined. Saffron echoes from the crosswalk over in a tangerine glow. Velvet murmurs from the side streets move like smoke beneath the gold. Folding layers of transparency bend around the boulevard. Every glance becomes a painting, softly fractured, never hard. Tiny flashes of euphoria disappear before they land, leaving only traces drifting like silk ribbons through my hands. Amber ceiling, ivory rain, blurred emotions through the frame. Faded mercury, summer blue, everything dissolves into Polaroids melt in afternoon heat, slow motion on repeat. Dusty colors breathing quietly underneath the city beat. Polaroids melt in afternoon heat, flickering through my mind. Everything feels featherlight and beautifully Fresh bouquets beside the window, soft reflections on the floor, muted jazz from distant speakers moving slowly through the store. Cream-colored architecture, swaying shadows on the white. Everything feels softly cinematic underneath the daylight. Velvet warmth inside the silence, like a pulse beneath the bloom. Tiny waves of happiness floating lightly through the room. Crystal skylines passing near, soft vibrations, bright and clear. Liquid sunlight turning new, everything illuminated through botanical air in Omotesando, golden sunlight through the trees, soft horizons opening slowly with effortless ease. Botanical air in Omotesando, silver afternoons unfold. Every little fleeting moment feels luminous and gold. Flower sunlight in a perfect afternoon, soft reflections dancing through the room. Everything feels golden, bright and new, like the world is slowly blooming too. Flower sunlight and a perfect afternoon, champagne air beneath the early June. Little moments drifting into view. Everything feels beautiful with you. Omotesando, breathing softly through the green and ivory light. Fresh bouquets beside the window, turning every corner bright. Warm espresso on the table, silver laughter in the air. Tiny waves of happiness floating everywhere. Cream-colored shadows on the marble, soft jazz moving through the space. Every passing second glowing with effortless grace. Golden leaves above the boulevard, swaying slowly in the breeze. Quiet sunlight through the flowers, falling gently through the trees. Little conversations shimmer like reflections on the glass. Everything feels cinematic as the afternoon drifts past. Soft emotions in the daylight, like a dream becoming clear. Every subtle little moment feels perfect here. Crystal skylines, summer white velvet, echoes floating light. Golden hours passing through, everything illuminated new. Flower sunlight and a perfect afternoon, soft reflections dancing through the room. Everything feels golden, bright and new, like the world is slowly blooming too. Flower sunlight